Hey guys, Jay Product Performance here. I told you I'd let you know how I made out with this slave cylinder on this Cobra. So I'm using a 3/4 inch diameter slave cylinder, which is what they recommend with that hydraulic throwout bearing. And I think you can get, like a 5/8 also, if you want to change the ratios, but 3/4 is what they recommend. So I think I've seen some improvement here, and what I'm going to do right now, I don't have help, so bleeding stuff like this can be kind of tricky by yourself. So what I've done is I've gravity bled it, and I think I've done it twice. I'm going to do it one more time. I think there's still a little bit of air in the system, so I'm going to do it one more time. I'll do that with you just in case you're not familiar with gravity bleeding. So basically what I did is I cycled the pedal a bunch of times and take the cap off of the master cylinder or slave cylinder. This works with brakes too, not just clutch. And it's, you don't need any tools, you don't need any help. It works okay, it'll get you by. It's not the fastest way, not always the best way, but it does okay. So give me a minute. I'm going to put this up on the lift, and then I'm going to show you what we do. So just to recap, I cycled the pedal several times, and then I took the cap off of the master cylinder here, and then you want to make sure it's full. And give me a second. I'm going to get this up on the lift. You don't need to bother watching that. Okay. So here's what it looks like installed. And this line goes up to the slave cylinder. And this line here that comes out, this is for bleeding it. Makes it easier to bleed. And if you look in there, you can see everything. Okay, so forgive me here. I need my other hand. I didn't bring the camera stand with me. So hang on one second. This is just a bleeder screw at the end here, so I just got to loosen that up. Alright, so my highly environmentally friendly way of, I'm just going to let this drip into this trash can. So you just loosen this bleeder, and you just kind of let this drip out. So what's important here, obviously, is you don't want to run the master cylinder dry, because if you do, it'll introduce air back into the system and you'll basically have to start over again. So I'm just gonna let some of this come out. Oh, I went the wrong way. There we go. So I shouldn't have to bleed it much. It's pretty close. So I'm just going to let some of this drizzle out, and you hope that the air comes out with it. It's kind of hard to tell doing it like this, honestly, just watching the drips. You can't really see air bubbles and stuff like that, like you can with, if you're using a bleeder or anything like that. So I'm just going to let this drip out just a little bit, and I'll close this screw back up, and then we will go top off the master cylinder again. Alright, so let me do that. Okay, so I just used a zip tie here to just keep this thing from flopping around, and just figured I'd show you that. No big deal. And I'm realizing I gotta put a bolt on the bell housing still, because I had a bracket here before and the bolt was real long, so I have to cut that down and put that on. So I gotta do that before I forget. So alright, let me lower this down. We'll check the master cylinder, and I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see we're down a little bit. Didn't take a whole lot of fluid out, but I'm going to top that off and put the cap back on. 1 second. All right, success. Right away, I noticed a difference. Feels good and solid now. That feels good. And it's, you know, it's not like a modern car, but I don't feel like I got to go hit the gym. You know, it's pretty reasonable pressure. You know, this is not a modern car, but it's kind of hoping it'll be a little bit easier. But you'd have to have the assist spring that they put on these new cars, and I'm not going to do all that. It's an old race car, so I got to man up. All right, let me show you one other thing while we're here looking at this thing. I'm trying to get this ready for the road, and let me show you something else. This is unique. This is a Antique and Collectibles Auto Cobra kit, which I've done other videos on this car if you want to go back and reference those if you're interested in this particular kit. But let me show you something that's a little unique about it. Give me 1 second. So also, and just for reference, I gravity bled that 3 times. It took 3 times to get it good and solid, which isn't bad. So this here, this is a trunk and your license plate light. And what's unique about this car is that the handle for the trunk is on the body. And no, it's not because I screwed up. It's the only kit that I've seen that tells you to do it this way, because if you put the handle here, you don't have room for a license plate here. You would have room, you know, I don't know, you'd have to mount it down here or something if you were going to do it that way. And honestly, other than that license plate light being there, I don't know, I probably should have just done that and then put the latch in the trunk, because when you go to open the trunk, you don't really have anything to grab onto other than this, and this isn't really super solid. It'll probably break off, you know, if you keep doing it that way. But check this out. So here's your license plate, and it almost doesn't quite fit the area you have. It's really close. And I make these frames, and the frame's going to have to be smaller. So probably, I don't know, almost will work. I think what I'm going to do, I think I will probably, I might make a handle that, say, goes in these 2 holes, and I'm gonna drill all the way through the trunk. You know, put some rubber mounts between this frame, not this frame because it says 66 Mustang, but I think I'm gonna make like a handle that goes in there to lift the trunk up with, or something. Maybe, I don't know, probably not on the bottom, because then the latch is kind of in the way. I guess I'll just let this overhang a bit, because you'd end up having to also, I think, trim your license plate down too. And not that you can't, that's easy enough to do, but I think I'm going to that frame and license plate will just hang down just a bit, and I'll put rubber spaces on the body here, and it'll be off the body a little bit. Like I said, I think I'm going to mount a little, I'll probably have to make it, because I'm not going to be able to find one that has that spacing, but I'll have to put a handle here to lift the trunk rather than lifting by this, or I don't know, maybe with the frame on here, I can just kind of grab the bottom of the frame. I don't know. It's just kind of goofy when you go to raise the trunk, but It's not a big deal. It's not like this trunk is going to get opened a lot. You know, I'm not going to be going out and buying groceries and stuff in the thing. It's just a toy. You know, the only time I'm really going to open this trunk is when I need to get to the wiring and stuff that's in here. So, anyways, I just wanted to show you that. That's a little bit unique on this particular Cobra. I don't know why, honestly, this is kind of limited on space like that, but I don't know. It just is for some reason. So, all right, guys. And if you do happen to have one of these cars and you address this issue, and let me know what you did. I'd be real curious to find out. I'm always curious to see other people's ideas and stuff. So, all right, guys. I'm going to get my license plate mounted here, or get a place to mount a license plate. I don't have the license plate yet, but it's kind of ironic. I'm just looking at this plate here. It's from another car I have. It's not even a valid plate anymore, but it actually starts in CSX, which is what the Shelby Cobras, the real Shelby Cobras, start. The serial numbers start as a CSX. That's really kind of strange. Now that I see that, I'm just noticing this. Oh, that's interesting. And I've had this plate a long time. This is actually from, I'm not from Texas, but this is actually from my first car when I came to Texas and registered it here. This is the plate I got. And I don't know. I guess it was just in my fate to have a Cobra. It's not a real one, unfortunately, but that's all right. I had the satisfaction of building it, and all the little things that are wrong with it are on me. So that's kind of the nice part in a way. But all right, guys, that's enough of me rambling on. I hope you learned something. So bottom line, I'm pretty happy with that hydraulic throwout bearing. There's a couple other videos on that, getting that installed, and the challenges I had on this old Toploader here, but got through that. Everything's working good now. I think I can drive this car. Gonna have to get the front end aligned on it. I have to stamp the serial number on the frame, a couple other things like that for the registry here in Texas that they want. But I'm ready to put this on the road. I've just been driving it around the industrial park here, where the shop is, but this bad boy's ready to go. I can't think of anything else to do other than go out, drive it, and see what else is wrong with it. You know how that is, and everything's all new, so something's bound to happen. But all right, guys, thanks for watching this, and if you do have interest in this antique and collectibles kit, I'm pretty happy with it. I can't say I've ever built another Cobra, but it's, I think it's a pretty good kit. The body is great, and you don't have to paint it. So if you're in the market, check those other videos and see what you think, and leave some comments, especially if you have a Cobra kit. I'd like to, learn about what you guys have too. But all right, thanks, guys.